Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. Tonight, we're stepping into one of the most emotional nights of BTS World Tour ARIRANG in Mexico City, Day 3. A night that is not only about a grand stage and thousands of fans, but about the energy exchanged between artists and fans within one living, breathing space. From the roar of ARMY echoing even before the stadium gates opened, to a sea of lightsticks transforming into a star-filled sky in the middle of the night, everything felt like a collective experience that is almost impossible to put into words. Jimin and Jungkook, together with the other members, performed with a more mature and powerful energy, yet behind all that grandeur, it was the small, subtle details that quietly stole attention and made tonight feel far more personal than just an ordinary concert. And among all those big moments, there was one simple thing that quietly became a warm topic among fans. BTS World Tour ARIRANG in Mexico City on Day 3 once again reaffirmed BTS's position as one of the most influential performers in today's global music industry. In a stadium already filled with thousands of fans long before the show began, the night turned into a collective experience that was not only festive, but also emotional, intense, and filled with unforgettable energy. Every element present that night, from the music, performances, to interactions, formed a living unity that blended seamlessly with the audience. From morning until nightfall, the atmosphere in Mexico City was already filled with overwhelming excitement. ARMY from various countries gathered, creating a sea of people not just there to watch a concert, but to celebrate togetherness. Around the stadium, warm interactions between fans could be seen, chants beginning even before the gates opened, and lightsticks already glowing early as a symbol of readiness for the big night ahead. This atmosphere wasn't just waiting for a concert, it had already become part of the experience itself. As Day 3 of the tour unfolded, BTS performed with energy that felt even more refined and solid. If the first 2 days already showcased extraordinary quality, then this day felt like the peak of an emotional journey that had been building up. They didn't just appear as a group on a world tour, but as a unified force completely commanding the stage with full confidence. Every song was delivered with high intensity, precise choreography, and stable vocals despite a demanding schedule. What made the performance stand out even more was the balance between professionalism and spontaneity. Amid tightly executed choreography and a grand stage concept, BTS still managed to insert small, natural moments. Brief smiles, hand gestures toward the audience, and spontaneous reactions to cheers from different parts of the stadium made the concert feel more human, not just a structured performance. Interaction with the audience became one of the strongest elements of the night. BTS paused several times to greet fans, wave, or respond to screams from the crowd. These small gestures created a powerful emotional connection between artists and audience. The massive stadium suddenly felt smaller in moments of shared emotion, as if everyone was inside the same emotional space. From a production standpoint, the tour maintained an extremely high standard. Lighting design, visual effects, and audio quality were crafted to enhance the experience rather than simply support it. Each song had its own visual identity, creating smooth yet dynamic transitions. But beyond all the visual grandeur, what stood out most was still the performers themselves, who maintained stamina and quality from beginning to end. The audience also played a vital role in shaping the atmosphere. Not a single moment felt empty. Every song was met with mass singing, synchronized cheers, and emotional responses that made the stadium feel like one living organism. The synchronized waves of lightsticks created a breathtaking visual, turning the night sky of Mexico City into a man-made galaxy of stars. Yet beyond all the spectacle and massive energy, there was one thing that made Day 3 feel even more personal: the natural emotional connection that emerged. Many fans were visibly overwhelmed by their emotions. Some cried, some laughed, some screamed, and others simply stood still, fully immersed in the moment. All these reactions happened simultaneously, creating a wide spectrum of emotions within a single shared space. In the end, BTS World Tour ARIRANG in Mexico City Day 3 was not just a concert, but a collective experience that went beyond music performance. It was a meeting point between artists and audience, between expression and reception, between energy given and energy returned many times over by thousands in the stadium. BTS didn't just appear as musicians, but as emotional connectors for people from all walks of life. When the concert ended, what remained was not only the fading echo of music, but also emotional traces left in the hearts of the audience. Many stayed in their seats, as if reluctant to leave the moment they had just experienced. Day 3 ultimately became one of the most memorable parts of the entire tour, not because of one big moment, but because of the complete and meaningful experience as a whole. Amid all that grandeur, one small moment unexpectedly caught fans' attention and became a warm topic of discussion: a simple interaction between Jungkook and Jimin. This moment didn't happen on stage, nor during a special segment, but rather from something very ordinary: the seating arrangement that placed them apart. At one point, fans noticed that Jimin and Jungkook were not seated next to each other, unlike what many often expect. Technically, it was nothing unusual, just a standard seating arrangement at an event. But for fans who are used to observing their subtle dynamics, it immediately became something noticeable. What made the moment even more interesting was Jungkook's expression, as he was seen occasionally turning his head around, almost instinctively looking for Jimin's presence. These small movements happened naturally, without intention, but were still caught by observant fans. From their perspective, it became something both funny and endearing. It didn't take long before playful comments started circulating. One of the most common jokes was about Jungkook's neck getting a workout that day from constantly turning around. Others jokingly said they shouldn't be separated, or else Jungkook would be too busy looking for directions. This quickly turned into lighthearted discussion among fans, not because anything was wrong, but because the closeness between Jungkook and Jimin has long been something fans pay attention to. Their interactions, subtle searches for each other, and spontaneous moments often become highlights within the fandom. However, beyond all the jokes and interpretations, it's important to see this in balance. At its core, this was simply part of a normal event arrangement. There is no deeper meaning or hidden narrative behind it. What made it circulate was simply fans' attention to small details that others might easily miss. Still, phenomena like this show something important: how fans build narratives from small moments. A glance, a head turn, or a seating position can turn into a living story within a community. It's not only about the idols, but also about how fans connect with what they see and feel. In the end, BTS World Tour ARIRANG in Mexico City Day 3 was not just about the stage, songs, or perfect choreography. It was about how a massive event can still feel close, even intimate, because of the natural, unplanned moments within it. From the incredible energy in the stadium, the warm interaction with fans, to the simple moment between Jimin and Jungkook that once again became a talking point, everything came together into one complete story: that a concert is not only about what happens on stage, but also about what is felt by everyone inside it. If you've made it this far, it means you've shared this emotional journey with us here at Jikook Moments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the small moments that often carry the biggest stories. See you in the next video, because there is always a new story waiting on every stage they step onto.